Hey guys, we are going to be making 5 holiday gifts under $5 today, and they are so easy. The first thing you'll need are wooden dowels and some scrap yarn. If you're not a knitter or crocheter, ask your friends for their scraps and I'm sure they'll give them to you. So we're going to cut some pieces of yarn and just fold them in half like this. And then we're going to take that fancy wooden dowel and put the folded end of yarn right under there and loop your ends through like this and pull it tight. This is a really easy knot and you can get a really cool effect with this. So simply keep doing this with various colors of yarn that you think look good together and you will have something really sweet here in a minute. This project takes maybe 5 minutes. This project was about $1 to make because I'm just using scrap yarn and trying to find a purpose for it instead of throwing it away. And the stick, that was probably $2 for the pack, but you could honestly just go outside and use a stick from a tree, which would look really, really cool. So in that case, the project could be free. Once you think you are happy with all the colors on your yarn hanging, get a piece of cardboard and cut around the edges. I just held mine down pretty tight and used it as a stencil. I ended up using fabric scissors because it was easier, but the end result is so pretty. It looks very bohemian and very beautiful. And I think anybody would really love this for Christmas. I tied some string around the top so it could be hung on a wall, and that was it. It was a very quick, easy project. The next thing we will be making are handmade stationery cards. So you don't need this fancy cutter or anything, but I am cutting some watercolor paper in half. You can use any kind of paper you want. I'm going to assume in this video most of you are crafters, so things like paint, glue, and scissors will not be accounted into the budget. So I folded the paper in half and I have a fourth one just in case I mess up. Next, I'm going to paint simple designs on them, like pine needles that only take simple lines, and it's really easy. Pretty much anybody can do it, even if you aren't really into painting. This is a very easy and modern project. Here are the finished cards, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. They really didn't take long at all, and it makes a very cute, budget-friendly gift. For this project, we are going to be making homemade bookmarks. I simply cut some more watercolor paper into strips and used some washi tape that I already had, but washi tape is probably $1 or $2 at Michael's, and then you can paint a design on it. So the amount for this gift is probably a max of like $3 if you already have paint and paper. It works out great. After you paint a design on your bookmark, take a hole punch and punch a hole in the middle of the top. This part is optional, you don't have to do this, and if you don't have a hole punch, you could use a pencil. I'm going to take some string and loop it through using the same technique we used for our yarn hanging. You could even use some scrap yarn for this part to make it even cheaper. Here are the finished bookmarks. They turned out so beautifully, and I think they would make lovely stocking stuffers. This project may take a little bit of couponing to get under $5, but I went to Michael's and bought a pack of tiles for $3.99, but I used a 40% off coupon and got it for $2.40, and I paid $1.99 for this piece of scrapbooking paper. That brings this project to $4.39. I'm marking the size of the tiles and cutting my paper accordingly. After that, I'm just using Mod Podge and covering my tile. I'm going in a crisscross fashion, as you can see, to prevent the most air bubbles. Then I'm laying the scrapbooking paper on top and using circular motions with my fingers to make sure everything is laid down in a uniform manner. While it was drying, I trimmed the edges so no paper hung over the sides. After everything dried, I did another coat of Mod Podge, and now we have some very expensive looking coasters that were very handmade and affordable. Look at how nice these turned out. They look like you could have bought them at Pier 1. We are making a garland for the final project, and I'm just using old book pages to a book that I don't want. You can use the newspaper or scrapbook paper, whatever you desire, and punch some holes in it. If you don't have a heart-shaped punch, you can use scissors and just cut your own hearts. That works just as fine. And then I'm using more scrap yarn from the beginning of this video and tying little loops above each heart. The loops simply keep the hearts in place so they're not sliding all around, and I thought it looked really cute. You can omit them if you want and just string them on too. This gift is literally free to make, and I've given them to people in the past and they've always loved them. They've always been a big hit in little stocking stuffers or just as gift toppers. So I try to make them every year, give them to different people. They're really fun, and I just love the vintage feel of them. Let me know if you liked these ideas and if you plan on trying any in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. By the way, I am so sorry I lost the footage to this garland hanging up in this Christmas scene that I built just for this garland, and there was greenery and everything, and it disappeared. So I'm just gonna have to show you it here on this table. I hope you liked it, and yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good holiday season, and I will see you soon in the next video.